Look at that big pit there.
Oh yeah, see the lava down on the far side.
Yeah. You'll see that the orange stuff sloshing around. Look straight down that corner there, Erica. Here, Tracy and Daryl, I'll give you a turn on your side and see what we're talking about. Looked like a good place to deep fry a turkey or some kind of hellish jacuzzi. Right down in that pothole there on the edges, you can see it splashing. Now that orange stuff is lava at about 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to blow glass, almost the temperature you could smelt steel. There you go, look straight down there, Derek. You get it, Jason? Derek and Erica, did you get a good look? All right, here, Daryl and Tracy, I'll give you another pass here.
Is the lava ultimately jumping out into this ocean?
No, you know, right now, the active magma flows have been building the top of this eruption site lately. Instead of heading down into the ocean and creating the more land on the island laterally, it's building it more vertical. You can see how these compounding lava flows are piling on top of each other here. These are all the more recent lava flows in the last few years have been moving in this direction right here.
Okay, that makes sense because the previous time they were dumping in the ocean, that's why there's always smoke right on the edge where the land met the ocean.
Right, yeah. So from here, you can see where the active lava tube has moved now. That line of smoke and steam is pointing you down towards these burning trees over here in front of us. This is kind of where everything is funneling out now. In fact, it's kind of interesting, Derek, when it rains out here, you can kind of tell where you're going to see activity next. When the lava was flowing in the ocean, you could see a very clear line leading down to a very steamy field down towards the coastline when it rained. Over here, now all the steam is on the ground here, and there's a very clear line going towards these trees. So I can kind of tell where things are moving around when it rains, and thankfully it rains a lot out here, so. You can see how these little silvery shiny blobs break out here and there. There's one right there. So when these lava flows break out, sometimes they're pretty small breakout flows that ooze up on the ground. Pretty mild-mannered a lot of times because they're coming out in so many different places, they lose a lot of their pressure. Oh, I do see some orange down there.
You see some orange down here below us?
Yeah, I do right here on the left-hand side. I'm going to drop it down, get us a little bit closer for a better view, and then we'll come around to the right too. Yeah, there we go. Got some orange. Okay, you can see that silvery blob down there. And then Daryl, right along the edge closest to us, you see that orange streak. That's a hot lava flow that's bleeding out of the ground, 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a empty lava tube right there too. It's a great example of a Pahoehoe lava flow. My friend says there's another one over here. Talking to me on the radio. They break out in various places. We never really know when and where they're going to happen. Kind of a mystery. Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah, that one's better. Look down off the right there. It's not quite in the shadow just yet, but you can see really good breakout there. Yeah, that orange is a really brilliant color. Even in the bright direct sunlight, it's still glowing. That means it's hot. This is definitely not a friendly place to come out and walk around, I'd say. Neat, huh? That might be the one thing I haven't seen in Blackfoot. Now keep in mind as you're looking down at this lava flow oozing out of the ground at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that this is definitely, a clear representation of the most destructive force Mother Nature has, right? No doubt. At the same time though, keep in mind it is also the birth of the youngest land on the planet happening right before your eyes. If you ever wanted to use that lame joke that you're older than dirt and actually be right, now is the time, It's a pretty amazing thing, I think. Did you get a good shot there, Tracy? It's a very paradoxical place to fly. As we're looking out this direction, looking at burning trees, increasing the expanse of the eruption site here every day, pretty much. I mean, it starts to look like Mordor out of Lord of the Rings. Like the Eye of Sauron's going to start blinking at us out here or something. It's a very bleak and dismal, very morose and sad place to fly. And all we do is point out destruction and what's burning down around us. By the end of the day, I am a major bummer to fly with. You don't want a 4 o'clock flight with me. It's a drag. Unless I remind myself pretty consistently that, this is a beautiful thing too. Being able to watch not only destruction, but creation going hand in hand to shape our planet, it's a pretty unique experience, I think. Not a lot of people get a chance to see how our Earth is literally made. And you can smell these burning trees, and you can see the evidence of these fires. You've got some little active lava flows that are kind of creeping through the forest here. Silvery, shiny blobs here and there. This is just how it's done. I think creation and destruction often go hand in hand. In fact, I mentioned that I've got 2 kids, and I was right on the front lines when they were born, and I can definitely attest that was a mistake. I should not have done that. I should have been in another room. I was all excited for the creation part of it, like I was going to see my kids. And all of a sudden, a lot of destruction happened too. It was a very scary, violent, very interesting experience, and I learned that creation and destruction often go hand in hand. Not always a beautiful thing alone by itself, but it will be eventually.
You can see some lava right down there on the edge of the trees.
See some fires too, yeah? All of this lava rock right here might look pretty bad at the moment, but it's actually very, very fertile. It'll start to regrow plants within only a couple years and almost regrow completely within 100 if it lets itself. Well, before we decide what to do next, really quickly, let me just ask, how's everybody feeling? I know I got kind of excited back there and did a lot of turns. Everyone feeling all right?
Yeah, feeling good.
Fine.
Just thought I'd check on you. So we still got plenty of fuel, and we still got time to go cruise by those little waterfalls I mentioned earlier. We should be there in about 4 or 5 minutes is all. Shouldn't take us too long. I think it's strange. I have to fly us all the way over to a different volcano on the island to show you a waterfall. As we're cruising over the Kilauea volcano, you look around us, a lot of it reminds me of Kansas. It's very, very flat, right? In fact, it looks nothing like a volcano like you imagine in your mind, like Mount St. Helens or anything like that, right? Well, the reason is this volcano is still really young. You don't see any mountains or valleys, and one thing we haven't flown over this whole time is a river, right? Primarily because 90% of all the dirt below us is less than 1,000 years old. So it really hasn't had any time to erode anything or go anywhere, you know? So we'll travel back over to Mauna Loa, and there's a bunch of little waterfalls kind of clumped together by the